Okay, so in this eye, what you can see is very clearly is a very, very dark skin ring. Okay, you're not sweating properly. The skin is not eliminating waste properly, and this is often due to weak kidneys, because when the kidneys don't work properly, the skin will take the burden, but the skin is not so effective. So you can see that dark skin ring. It indicates that there's an issue with weak thyroid and weak kidneys. Okay, if you look also closely, well, you see those very dark etchings, lines leaching out of the pupil. It's called radii solaris. Indicates toxic tunnels of waste leaching out from the gut to the other body parts and glands. You also notice that this eye here is a brown eye, a light brown, but look at the color, it's almost a dark yellowish. Okay, this indicates lymph stagnation. The lymph system is not moving. The main immune system or the main source system of the body is not moving properly. Again, it's due to weak kidneys. Okay, so we need to address that. Dark ring around the pupil, there's a malabsorption ring, and the person is not absorbing nutrients properly. Okay, so we need to also address that. The bowels are the most pressing thing here. You can see how dark, all this here is bowels, all this line here, over here, are the bowels. Notice how this is the small intestines, or the ascending colon. Look how dark it is and how it balloons out. And then look how it contracts back again. And then it balloons out a bit. Okay, it's spastic bowels. So it's potential fecal matter in there, hidden in there. So we need to clean this. The descending colon, look at how it expands up here and then contracts again. So the bowels are the most pressing thing here, okay, and this has to be cleaned. All this section right here is the pituitary gland. Do you see how dark it is? That's the master gland, the gland that controls all the other endocrine glands. The thyroid, parathyroid, pineal. Right here's the pineal gland. This is the sleep gland. Okay, you see how chronic it is, how dark it is. Okay, it needs to be. You need to clean this up. You need to detox it, because if the pituitary gland is not fixed, you have stuff like issues in general of all the other glands. You can have height problems. You can have menstruation problems later in life, etc. You can have developmental problems later. Okay, so you want to address the pituitary gland. So maybe use the pituitary glandular or pituitary tincture, okay, or herbs to address this. If you look over here, this is the thyroid region and the parathyroid above it right here. You can see it's the chronic side. Remember when I said poor thyroid, you have the skin ring. Look at the skin ring, the dark ring. Okay, so this needs to be cleaned up. Okay, it's the chronic side. I have a deep feeling that if you fix the pituitary gland, all the other glands will repair themselves, including the thyroid. Okay, so we need to address these. And the parathyroid is the gland that's responsible for tissue integrity or calcium utilization. And as you see, the bowels are spastic. It shows a weak parathyroid. Okay, so again, we have to address the endocrine glands. So right here is the upper back region, and that dark line that you see, that's the middle back, and here's the lower back region. You can see it's heavy lymph stagnation, congestion right here. Okay, and right here at the testes and ovaries, you can see how chronic it is. So you see that line right here? That's the kidney and adrenals. Look how dark it is, which explains why you have the skin ring, which explains why you have thick lymph, the brown, yellowish color around the whole eye. That's lymph. When the kidneys don't filter the lymph system will get stagnant. It will thicken up. Okay, and the adrenals control the kidneys, so we need to address these two. Very, very important. It's the main focus here: the bowels and the kidneys and adrenals. And right here is the shoulder, okay, ear and neck region. Okay, all this section, all heavy of lymph. This needs to be cleaned up as well. You notice something very close. If you look very closely, you see very lines going around the eye, like the rings of a tree of a trunk. This is from weak adrenals. Remember when I showed you the adrenals are weak right here? Okay, this is not good. We need to fix this, because again, adrenals control autonomic nerve movement or automatic nerve movement. This includes breathing, using the washroom. Okay, it's all controlled by the adrenals, so we need to fix this. Okay, so I mean, this eye has a lot of acidosis. The thyroid is weak, the kidneys are weak, the adrenals are weak, the bowels are weak, and there's a lot of congestion in the brain and brain region right here. So I would use brain and nerve 2, upper circulation, GI cleaner for the bowels, and kidney adrenal tincture to address these, and go on a 100% fruit diet or high fruit diet, at least 80% fruit, and maybe dinner. If the person can take this, we can have some steamed vegetables and perhaps some salads or green drinks. But to really get this cleaned up, you need to be 100% fruits. That's my preferred route.